welcome to the next video in this series. We are talking about the power of forgiveness and removing unforgiveness from the garden of our hearts and of our lives. So Jesus came, he died for us when we were still sinners, reconciling us to him so that all we would need to do is respond and walk with him. Jesus, after facing torture that is very hard for us to even understand, on the cross said, "Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing." That is the heart of God. He has a heart of love and he has a heart of forgiveness. And his heart says, "I want you to forgive others as I have forgiven you." And in the companion guide, in the description for this video, you'll see there's other scriptures that are listed there and some prompts. I really encourage you to take this to the Lord. The thing about forgiveness is that in this life where we are surrounded with people, everybody making their own decisions, there are many opportunities that we constantly encounter to walk in forgiveness. And so this is something, whether you are a new believer or you've been walking with the Lord for decades, this is something we constantly have to revisit and make sure the enemy is not having an opportunity to use these things to bring oppression into our lives. But Jesus is really clear. He said, if you don't forgive others, I can't forgive you. This is a non-negotiable with Jesus. But I also want to encourage you, and I also want to say that I realize that many of you have been through things that are unthinkable and pain. Many have been abandoned, abused, experienced all sorts of things that I can't conceive of right now. But I want to encourage you, God knows. And don't run from this place. Let him walk with you into a place of forgiveness, because it is a place of healing. And just know and be encouraged. Forgiveness doesn't mean you trust someone. It doesn't mean that what they did wasn't wrong. It doesn't mean that you're going to have a relationship with them or not have boundaries with them. The Lord will walk with you through that. I encourage you to even talk to people that are pouring into you or discipling you, to invite wise counsel. But I just want to encourage you, forgiveness is really about the heart. It's about the poison of that unforgiveness being removed from you so that that healing process can actually begin. Unforgiveness will actually block you experiencing the healing and the freedom that Jesus has for you. So I encourage you to look at the prompts, ask the Lord, do I have unforgiveness against anyone? Keep in mind that sometimes this is someone who's done something to you, knowingly or unknowingly. Oftentimes people don't even realize that they've wronged someone or that somebody experienced something that really hurt them. Sometimes it's actually something that we've experienced where we needed somebody or needed someone to show up in a certain way in our lives and they didn't. So maybe you had a father who provided a roof over your head and food for the table, but was emotionally absent from you, and you actually needed someone to teach you and to love you and to affirm you, and you didn't have that. And that might be something the Lord is wanting you to forgive. So I just encourage you, embrace that process with God, ask him to show you and release that. So for example, I might say, I forgive Johnny, just a random name, for doing XYZ, fill in the blank. Tell God like it is. Listen, we've talked about intimacy with the Lord. You do not need to filter yourself with God, okay? He can take it, all right? I forgive him for, and then say, it caused me to feel. Tell God how it impacted you. Tell God what it caused in your emotions, and just be really raw and honest. And this is actually a powerful way to open up those pathways of your emotions, things that the enemy loves to hide behind. Oftentimes there will be tears. You might feel like you need to yell. I encourage you, release that before God and let him meet you in that place that as you release forgiveness, he will actually start to do a deep work in your emotions to already start to just bring healing to your heart in those areas of pain. The last bit of encouragement I want to give you about this is that you might need to forgive yourself. For some people, this is the biggest thing. And you might also need to forgive God. And I want to encourage you, take that to him, okay? He can handle it. You might feel like God hasn't provided for you in some way or shown up for you in some way. I encourage you, bring that to him. Yes, forgive him. And for some of us, we have beliefs around what's okay and not okay to say. And it actually keeps us from progressing in the health of our soul and in the health he's wanting to bring into our hearts. And so take that to the Lord, use the companion resource as needed, and be encouraged. See you in the next video.